Remember when everyone was bagging on millennials for our hookup culture? Well, joke's on you, old people. Turns out we're barely having sex. Hello, just friends. Julian here for D-News. Smartphone apps can do anything. Press the right buttons and you can order a pizza, or get directions to pizza, or match with someone on a dating app like Tinder and trick them into bringing you pizza. Apparently, though, some people actually use Tinder for casual sex. This has led to predictions that dating would end and relationships would be replaced by a string of one-night stands. And then a funny thing happened. Researchers asked millennials just how much sex they were having, and the answer was lower than anybody was expecting. It's not just low compared to the crazy expectations set by their prudent parents, it's the lowest it's been since the 1940s. Psychologist and author of the book Generation Me, Twenge, examined data from the General Social Survey, which looks at American social trends going back 70 years. Twenge and other researchers analyzed over 26,000 responses to the GSS and examined how many sexual partners people reported having between the ages of 18 and 24. 6% of adults born in the late 1960s reported having no partners at that age, while for today's adults born in the 90s, that figure was closer to 15%. Twenge remarked, "This generation appears to be waiting longer to have sex, with an increasing minority apparently waiting until their early 20s or later. I know that's why I didn't have sex in high school. Because I was waiting." But everything's gonna be okay, 18-year-old Julian. Because the Center for Disease Control has also found that high school virgin rates are on the rise. Data published by the CDC last year showed that 41% of high school students had had sex at some point compared to 54% of students in 1991. Millennials aren't just waiting longer to have sex either, they're also reporting fewer sexual partners on average compared to generations past. Another analysis of the GSS by Twenge found that while baby boomers typically had 11.68 partners in their lifetime, millennials are on pace to average only 8.26. I don't know how you can have sex with 0.26 people, but I'm a millennial, so clearly my experience is limited. This all appears to contradict other data about our newest crop of adults. In 1972, 45% of young adults said premarital sex was not wrong at all. As of 2014, that number had jumped to 64%. So you'd think they'd all be on board the boner train to Pleasure Town. Why the hedonism has died down despite more openness to hedonism is something of a mystery that the data can't answer yet. This hasn't stopped people from speculating, though. Twenge thinks that the rise of technology means we have more ways to entertain ourselves, so sex becomes less important. And communicating through texting has diminished face-to-face interactions, meaning there's less opportunity to get it on. So our intercourse is getting in the way of our intercourse. One of Twenge's co-authors, Ryan Sherman, suggested that the abundance of other outlets like pornography or the rise of sexual education and awareness of sexually transmitted diseases may lead to more prudent youth. It's also possible that we have a more casual definition of casual sex now, so it only looks like we're not getting busy. Anthropologist Dr. Helen Fisher told Business Insider that the casual hookups may be leading to meaningful relationships when millennials catch feelings for their partner. Fisher also thinks that online dating apps are actually having a negative impact on our hookups. When people are presented with so many choices, they're less likely to pick one, a phenomenon I'm calling abstinence. All these factors may have led to our sex drives hitting the brakes, but none have been looked at in depth. So if you're a millennial and your parents think your generation is just too frisky, be comforted knowing that your parents probably had way more sex than you. Wait, that's not comforting at all. If you're trying to buck statistics, you know what will really set you apart from that shirtless bro on Tinder? Your own website. And no domain extension will help you tell your story like a .com or .net domain name. And because you watch D-News, you can get 15% off domain.com's names and web hosting by using the code DNews when you check out. Of course, we may be less frisky because we're carrying around a few more pounds than our parents too. To find out why, Julie explores that here.
In several animal studies, the generation exposed to chemicals while in the womb were fatter than their parents. The most common theme of these chemicals is that they're known endocrine disruptors. These types of chemicals are frequently linked to ill health effects like weight gain. They can change the way adipose or fat cells work.
So why do you think millennials aren't doing the dirty horizontal mambo? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for new episodes of D-News every day of the week.